Nail or beauty school was just the beginning, right? What on earth do you do now? Welcome to the Salon Success Podcast with Monaco Nail Academy. Our topics stretch beyond nails and into all things salon related, business, marketing, and social media, and at the very least, it hits you with real, honest stories about our experiences. This isn't school, this is real life, real business, and really freaking hard work. The Salon Success Podcast is recorded live on Mondays at 5 p.m. New Zealand time at facebook.com/Monaco Nail Academy and available on Spotify and Google playlists. Before we get started, wherever you are, thumbs up, tag a friend in the comments, or hit that share button and support small business. Alrighty, so we are just a little baby podcast today. It is just me and Rochelle. So I am Penny. I run and own Monaco Nail Academy. You can find me on Instagram and Facebook at Penny Lawler Nail Artist. And I am joined by Rochelle.
Hi guys, I'm Aphrodite.iris on both Facebook and Instagram, and I'm out west.
And so Rochelle is one of our more recent students who's currently working towards becoming a mentor with us. And then I've been in the industry too long, 11 years. So I think we're still a good balance together, even though there's only two of us.
No, I like it. It's good. We're on one screen.
Well, the first time you ever...
Yeah, it was just us.
It was just us. We just didn't stay on topic very well.
No. That was like a 2-hour podcast. Let's not do that this time.
No, I've got a client in an hour, so
okay, sweet. We're fine. We'll be fine.
So
it's really hot, guys. So I'm sorry if I'm
so
wiping my
face.
face.
We turned off the aircon for your benefit, but we're dying. So we've got a couple of live watchers. If you are watching live, say hi. We can see Teresa is watching live. And tonight's topic is loyalty programs. So I have chatted about loyalty programs with quite a few of our students over time, but I thought it would be quite a good topic to do while there's just a couple of us and have a perspective of, you're not allowed to die.
I'm sorry.
Rochelle's melting. It would be quite good to have the newbie and the oldie perspective.
I'm glad you're the oldie in this one.
I'm 1,000 years older than you anyway.
1,000. Oh, okay. That's cool. My husband says I'm old all the time, so I'm okay with this right now.
I'm older than everyone that I actually hang out with.
Yeah, but you don't seem older.
Thanks.
I mean, look, you got fun hair and stuff.
Oh,
if it was blue, you could be like, yeah, it's a nana, those blue rinses.
I can't wait.
Okay, we're already off topic.
I've been watching this YouTube channel where the girl's 27, but she's got dark hair and a natural grey streak, and it's amazing.
Oh, that's usually a dude thing, eh?
Yeah. It looks so good, though.
Hey, Tony.
Tony and Amy are watching it live as well. Hey, guys. If you are watching live, feel free to tag a friend in the comments, a nail tech friend, and be like, don't forget, the podcast is recording now. But so let's get into chatting about loyalty programs. So, and I'd love to hear initially in the comments what you guys do, and then to hear a little bit more about ideas that you all have further down the track. Teresa's saying that we can all hang with her and feel young. Teresa's not even old, though.
No, her personality definitely isn't. I hope that's a compliment, just FYI.
Alrighty, so loyalty programs. What are we talking about when we talk about my hands are sweating? Okay, what we're going to do, we're going to turn the aircon back on, but you guys have to tell us if it's too loud, because it is quite loud, and if it affects the mic, then we have to turn it off. Okay. Teresa, I'm going to hold you accountable. Tony, I know you'll be honest with us if it's just too loud, so we're going to put that on. But let's chat about what we're talking about when it comes to loyalty programs. Rochelle's just putting the aircon pipe out the window.
Sorry, guys.
All right. So, let us know if the aircon is too loud or if it interferes with the mic too much. But so, Teresa, 38. I'm 33 next month, so I'm not actually
so that old.
But I'm not far behind Teresa either.
Yeah, but I'm 29 this year.
Oh yeah, you're not that young.
No.
I thought you were younger. Okay, so tell me in the comments what you guys do as a loyalty program, if you do any, and let's first chat about what most people do, which is the stamp card, right? So I'm firmly against stamp cards.
I feel like it's like a coffee card.
And what? Yeah, it is. But like, is that a good thing or a bad thing?
No, like I'm more than a coffee place. Like I'm worth more than like. It feels tacky. No offense if anybody does them, but like
that's an interesting perspective I've not heard before.
Because
but
like
why
all the non-standard places do them. And
do they?
Yeah.
I wouldn't know. I haven't been to
Okay,
one.
well before I was like obviously educated, I went to them because I was young and stupid. But yeah. A waste of time.
Yeah, Tony says loyalty programs are a waste of time. She refuses to do them. Instead, pop some money aside to spoil her clients at birthdays and Christmas, which we will definitely talk about in a second. So first of all, let's just clarify why we're all against stamp cards. So here's the thing with a stamp card, and because this is a podcast episode, I can't use my whiteboard, and I wish I could. But basically, here's the thing with a stamp card. So when someone, let's just say that a service is $50 because that makes easy maths. So you have to do 10 of them. Generally, it's like your 10th one's free or something like that. Well, first of all, if someone goes to the lengths of getting 9 stamps, they were going to pay the 10th time. You're throwing away $50. They were going to pay. So that's one thing, is it's just unnecessary. The thing is, like Rochelle talked about coffee cards. With a coffee card, it's a $5 item. Like if I know that I have a stamp card that has a few stamps on it and I'm near a place that I have stamps for, I will go to that place because I know I can get a stamp because I want to. Tony said she can't hear the aircon.
Yes,
this is amazing.
You've made us sit without it for so.
Because I've had people tell me before
really?
that
it wasn't that aircon though, right?
No, but that's louder.
Well,
we digress.
I'm winning.
So basically, I will go to a coffee place specifically because I've got option of a few and I don't mind that one and I want to get the stamps. Yeah. And if I'm closer to the 10, then 100% I'll go get the stamps. The thing is though that like we don't get chosen as frivolously as coffee places get chosen. Like some diehard coffee drinkers will only go for the one place that makes their favorite coffee, but even them will, like in another town, go somewhere else. Yeah. But generally speaking, if you are a regular nail wearer, even if you were in another town for the weekend, you're going to wait until you get home. You want to only go to your nail person. Yeah, unless it's like a massively broken nail or something. Yeah, like a repair's different story. But like for your actual full appointment, generally speaking, you don't shop around. You find a really good place that you really like and you stick with them. So that enticement's not there so much. So there's that. But it's also just the throwing the money away. Like, they were going to come anyway. They were going to give you that money anyway. And we need that money. Like, we're not rich, not many of us anyway, but like, we need that money. And the main point that I want to get across is that you can do so much more with that money. Like, if you're going to throw $50 away, then throw $50 worth of something at them. Like, imagine all the things you can get for $50 that are worth more. Like, I mean, think about how much of a groceries hamper you could make for $50. That's true. If you shopped really carefully, and like got things on special, stuff like that. Or like, you could like say wear nail techs, but so to me, something like a facial or a massage is a luxury because I'm not in that world. Yeah. So a half-hour facial or massage would fit under $50. Yeah. Like, how many movie tickets can you get for $50? Like, a lot. How much chocolate? Like, imagine how many actual chocolates you could get for $50. You could get a really decent bottle of wine or several perfectly acceptable bottles of wine. Like, there are so many things that you can get. You can get a bottle of vodka for under $50. Yeah, so, like, and still have, like, $10 left over to buy yourself something nice. But you can get so many things with that $50 that you were going to just throw away and they were happy to give you. So if you want to reward your clients for loyalty, do something like what Tony was touching on, in terms of doing gifts, and like put that money aside. Like, every 10th appointment, if they're 2 weekly, then that's every 20 weeks, which is 5 monthly. If they're 3 weekly, then that's every 30 weeks, so that's about 7 monthly.
I'm glad you're good at maths, because that would have taken me way too long to work out.
I think it's 7 or 8 monthly that a 3-weeker would do that. So let's just say that they're going to get 1.5 stamp cards filled a year. So that gives you a budget of $75, 1.5 rewards that you have to spend annually on that client by
you're right.
By
you could
not
come up
doing
with
that,
way more
right?
than that.
So first of all, let's not waste $75.
Yeah.
Like, let's chop that in half straight away and have a budget of like $30 or $40 for a client reward. Because we're like, you shouldn't be in the business of just throwing away money anyway.
Yeah.
So let's chop that in half. And then also, you guys have access, all of us as nail techs have access to wholesale prices. So think of all the places that you could go where you could turn your $30 or $40 back into $75 because you're buying at a wholesale rate. So you could go to beauty wholesalers and purchase stuff that is not like, don't undercut yourself, not stuff you sell, but like a lot of the places we have wholesale accounts for have like face masks and things like that don't relate to us being nail techs, but can bump up the value of a hamper or something. Like heaps of stuff like that you can do, and then do it once a year for either a Christmas present or a birthday present. Or
I like the idea of birthday.
I like the idea of birthday.
For me personally, there's too much pressure. Like, I've already got to deal with my family and everything else.
And you have to do everyone at once if you do it at Christmas. But the thing I like to do is just surprise stuff. Like, I've had some really lovely clients over the years do really lovely things for me. Like, I had a client once who she just knew that I was quite stressed at the time and overworked and stuff, and she called into the salon with a big hamper and she said, look, I was really like thinking about you, and I know that you can't take a break, so I wanted to come in and like be able to do something so that you could take a break. But then I realized like it'd probably be more stressful because I don't know anything, you'd have to teach me, and so instead I've built you a break. And it was like a coffee mug with a hot chocolate set and a magazine and like all the bits and pieces that you needed for a break, and that was just so lovely. And so to be able to do something like that for a client is like way nicer. Like, if you know that they just lost a family member, or they just went through a breakup or something, like they just lost their job, or like all these things that can happen, to be able to go, well, I know that I have put 10% of every dollar they've spent with me aside into my like loyalty account, because that's what I would do, is I would be putting 10% of all of my revenue into a separate account that was just for spoiling people. And then like, it doesn't have to be exact. You don't have to try and meet the dollar figure. Just know that you've got a few $100s in your loyalty account, so that when your next client turns up and she's had an awful day, you can get something sent to her, like Smilebox. I think it's smilebox.co.nz, but they're all $19, including shipping. And a Smilebox, make sure it's the right website, because I think if you just go, like, if you search Smilebox, it doesn't come up first, but maybe it's like smilebox.co.nz or something. But I've sent those out a few times, and you can choose from themes. There's like a tea one and a chocolate one and a candy one, and it comes with a little card, and you can get a note put in it. And like, it's just, it's under $20 including shipping. Just send them one of those.
That's
because you heard they had a bad day.
Yeah, because let's be honest, everyone sits in that chair and like word vomits their entire life to you. Well, that's what I found anyway. I remember my first client. Oh man, she had a story.
First client?
My very first ever paying client had a story. We'll get into that another day. But and I was like, oh my gosh, are all my clients going to do that? Yeah, and they did, which is fine. Like, but yeah, you're right. You hear everything. They'll tell you everything. So having that on hand would be really, really cool.
Yeah. And
it'd feel really cool getting like something sent to me from my nail tech.
Yes.
Like, I would be stoked.
Definitely. And like, actually, the way I found out about Smilebox was because one of my clients sent me one when I broke up a relationship.
Oh, yeah.
And like, your clients will say like, oh, how's your partner? And you kind of have to be like, oh, well, like, you don't necessarily want to have a whole big discussion about it, but they find out stuff like that. And so then she sent me a Smilebox, and it was just really lovely, because they're just these little small parcels that turn up, and it's just cool.
Yeah.
So having something like a loyalty account is nicer.
You can also do like edible flowers.
Yes.
Oh, those are the best. I had one of those on my birthday, and that was amazing.
Yeah.
I would love
And being
those.
able to do things like a little wedding present or a baby shower present, like stuff like that is so much more important. And I know that you said birthdays and like Tony does birthdays and I've done birthdays before. But the other thing to remember is it's about perceived value, which is an extremely important concept. Like I talk about perceived value a lot when I talk about increasing prices, because you want to increase your perceived value by the same amount that you increase your prices, but they're never the same thing. Like I increased my prices 20% and all I got was a hot towel warmer, but the value of the appointment, because it had a different ending now with a hot towel and a little hand massage and stuff, the perceived value of the appointment increased the same, like by what I'd put the prices up, but it was a one-off outlay for me, like $180. So it wasn't actually that big of a deal for me to do. And so perceived value applies to loyalty programs as well, because like for a birthday, if you got a handwritten birthday card snail mail from your nail tech, like that actually means a shitload. Like they're not expecting a $50 bouquet. They're not expecting you to have a $75 budget. The whole point of being able to do this is to show that you thought of someone. And like if it's just a BS kind of like happy birthday Rochelle X Penny, like that means nothing to me. But if you actually like put thought into it and chose a card that
you knew
the client
they were like
like
they might be obsessed with kittens or something.
I'd get you a camo one.
We're not starting this argument again.
But like if you put thought into the card and you just like have a look at the shops and pick ones out in advance that you know suit certain clients, so you're not having to go do it every time, and you write a proper thoughtful note in it and stuff like that means heaps. Snail mail means heaps to people, so even then you can cut your budget down.
Because they'd be like, oh, what's this? Because it'd be like handwritten. You're like, oh, this is cute. And then they'd probably be absolutely shocked that you
totally
did that.
And that you remembered, because like they don't remember writing their birthday on the consultation form. No one remembers. But yeah, and then the other thing that you can do, I just talked too fast and we're going to run out of ideas by like 5:22. So one of the other things that you can do as well is utilize business relationships that you have and put together like goodie bags and hampers and stuff with other businesses. So like if you buy, $10 worth of something, like the cheap jewelry stores too, you could get so much stuff for $50. But if you get like a necklace and a box of chocolates and something, and it all adds up to like $15, then you can also get like other businesses around to donate things. So I've had a company donate wine before. We got like a couple of boxes of wine, like heaps of stuff that you can just reach out to a company. You can reach out to like PR places and be like, I'm doing this. Do you have anything that you can put in? We got like a massive box of Palmolive hand lotion just because I was like, hey, we need they had reached out to us before to have it on all of our desks, and then so I reached out to them later on and was like, hey, we want to do this goodie bag thing, and they were like, yeah, have a box.
Nice.
But like lots of places will do stuff like that.
I can already think of a few places. So I've got a giveaway on my page at the moment to celebrate
Aphrodite.iris.
To celebrate my first year opening my salon. And I was overwhelmed with the response I got. I just messaged people. I was like, the worst that can happen is they'll say no.
Yeah.
And my giveaway is like over $700 worth of stuff.
I didn't know about this giveaway.
Well, you guys should definitely go enter. So it's on Facebook and Instagram. So there's going to be a winner chosen from each, and there's even a second place prize, because you got so much stuff, and people, because I originally did it for a trade swap, which we did in a podcast. We've done that one, eh?
Yep.
Yeah. Trade swap idea.
We've done an episode about podcasts. About a podcast episode about trade swaps. Yeah.
And some people just gave it for free. They were just like, yeah, I'll help you out. Like, it was amazing. So,
which post is it?
It's that one.
Okay.
So it's about 3 down. Yeah. And there's so much stuff in there. Like some stuff some people aren't really into, but that's fine. But just ask. Like, the worst thing that's going to happen is they'll say no, and you'll just be
Holy
like,
moly.
okay, thanks, and just move on.
Okay, I'm gonna screenshot this as a reminder to do it later.
Yeah.
Because,
All you have to do is like all the pages and comment.
yeah.
But yeah, that's definitely a really good idea. And
Yeah.
having like a local, especially if you're somewhere that you know there's quite a few, if you're a home salon or just general girls in business or whatever your niche is, you can just ask them because that they'll give you like a % off voucher. Like I got a few of those as well.
So if you're watching live, what I'd really like to know is like the nicest surprise anyone's ever done for you, because I think that we can use that as like fuel.
Yeah.
So another client, honestly, clients, when they're loyal and they've been with you a long time, they spoil the crap out of you. So we've talked about the lady that brought me a break.
Yeah.
And
that's super cute. I
and
love
the
that.
girl that sent me a smile box for a breakup. And that same breakup, one of my other clients, who like these clients have all been coming to me for years, right?
Yeah.
So like they are loyal, they are friends and clients, but like we don't hang out kind of thing. So
you just learn so much about your clients. Yeah.
But so one of them rang the doorbell and ran away and had left me like a breakup survival kit on the door. So it was like
cute.
painkillers and like chocolate and cookies and
nice.
I think not a magazine. What else was there? I know there was like more specific survival stuff as well as painkillers and things.
Is there like a voodoo doll with like,
No.
I would want one of those.
It depends on the breakup. This breakup
true.
didn't need a voodoo doll.
Okay.
But yeah, like
That
stuff
makes
like
you sound
that
like a crazy
is
lady.
no, it doesn't. I just still like that ex. We're
Okay.
still friends.
Okay, sweet.
So yeah, like stuff like that's real cool. What about you? Like, what's some cool random stuff that people have done for you? Not like not romantic, just like cool shit friends have done.
Honestly, I can't think of anything off the top of my head.
Your
I know I'll be
friends are
driving home. Oh no, actually there was one. I had a pretty tough year last year, and one of my friends came round. She was like, "Oh, I cancelled like a hangout." I'm notorious for that.
Same.
I like make plans, and then I'm like, "Nope." I was having just a real bad day, and she ended up coming around with a DVD of Grease, which is like my favorite movie, and chocolate.
You have
She didn't
excellent
say
taste.
anything. Turned on the TV, dragged my ass out of bed, put me on the couch, gave me the chocolate, and we sat in silence and watched the movie.
Yeah,
Like, it was real good. So that's probably one of the best. It's not really a surprise, but that's like one of the things that.
Well, it was because you told her you didn't want to hang out.
It's like, I remember I spun her some BS line as well, like,
And she didn't
actually
believe you.
I'm like busy, and then she didn't believe me. Yeah, because my partner at the time was down south.
But you could totally spin that into something for a client if you had a loyalty account.
Yeah,
like
definitely.
Yeah, you could totally turn that same concept into something. Tony said the only surprises she likes are when her clients bring her chocolate when they know she's squeezed them in, or they're her last client of the day.
Oh yeah, that's really nice.
Yeah. See, the thing is, last client of the day, if you are a client like listening to this, more than a nail tech, you're more of a client. Last client of the day is balls.
That's true.
I'm
especially
so
if you know you're going somewhere.
Yeah. What? No, I'm never going anywhere.
Well,
I'm going to bed. Like, I'm tired.
Yeah.
But because if the last client of the day is like 8 or 8:30,
oh yeah,
my bedtime is like 9.
Same.
If I'm working, it's always past my bedtime. So then, like, you're tired and you don't want to do the complex stuff. And I feel bad because I'm like, oh, damn it. I know this person gets fun stuff and I really want to do fun stuff. If they turned up, for me, it would be a Coke, no sugar. Which, to be fair, actually, Steph, who was here, you met her a couple of hours ago. I forgot about this. She turned up one day before I went sugar-free with just a frozen Coke. And do you know what?
Nice.
Like, frozen Coke costs $1, right?
Yeah.
Like, yes.
Yeah.
That's one of the best surprises ever. Like, I wouldn't quite go as far as to say it's on par with the breakup kit or anything like that, because that's like, she doesn't live close by either. She went out of her way for that. But, like, that made my day to have her walk in with a frozen Coke, and that cost $1, and I still remember it. And, you know.
Oh, yeah, that's cute.
Hi, Gina. You go.
I just haven't I haven't built up, I guess, enough of a regular client base to experience anything like this, but there's a couple of my clients that are semi-regularly that I can imagine doing stuff like this. Yeah.
Tony said Steph's mum came and saw her today.
Okay.
It's like too coincidental. Well, it's not that coincidental because I know that Steph's mum goes there, but like that's a bit weird.
Yeah.
It's a bit Twilight Zone.
Yeah, I love it.
But yeah, so I think little things like that. Like I don't want to just go through a whole list of like tooting my own horn, but I do know of like little things like this are what I prefer to do. I don't buy my friends' birthday or Christmas presents ever. So like even just with the students at Monaco Nail Academy, www.monaco.ac.nz, like last week, it's really freaking hot. If you're not in New Zealand or Auckland at the moment, I think it's hot everywhere here, but I know some people that listen to us like tomorrow were from other countries, and it's really hot here at the moment. So last week, I just Uber Eats large not frozen, like just drinks from McDonald's.
Nice.
Just large Cokes and large whatever from Macca's for all of us. And like, it doesn't have to be a big deal. It can just be that, or like the client turning up and there's like an Easter egg at Easter.
Oh my gosh,
stuff
that's
like
a
that.
cute idea.
Like, yeah.
I'm a chocolate fiend, so that's down my alley.
Yeah, like
love
just.
I'm thinking of all the things I would love.
No, but that's a good thing.
Side.
No, but that's everyone should.
Or my avatar would like.
Yes.
See?
Yes. Yeah, you could go back to our Avatar episode. I don't know what number that was. It was early
like
on, but
it
was real early on. But when we've talked about avatars, that's a really good way as well of deciding what you would give people. So tell us in the comments what you do for loyalty, and if you have any ideas or what would mean a lot to you, because then we can share them with each other. I did a stamp card at the start just because that's what everyone does.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know.
I didn't think about it, and then you like ranted in class, and I was like, "Oh, I'm not doing that." But I do have packages. I was telling Penny before we started the podcast so my packages are for manicures, and I don't give away like a free one. The last one's just a deluxe upgrade.
Yeah.
So if you think about how much that actually costs you, it's not much compared to, I guess, the perceived value of that coming in. And that's like I found that's like a good gateway to getting people to like come in. Or I do like a nail biter rehab, which is what I used on myself to try and get myself to stop biting my nails. And again, it's just like the last one is a deluxe upgrade and a free feature nail on each finger to like show off there. Yeah, like easy.
Yeah, so easy. The one thing I will say about that deluxe idea, having done it, so I think because you're still building up your clientele, this would work way differently. But when I first realized how bollocks loyalty cards were, we did try and change it up. And we did change from the free one to a deluxe upgrade. And so every I think it was a stamp for a certain spend or something, so that some people earn faster than others. But basically when you filled your card up, you got a deluxe upgrade. And the reason that it became a bad thing when we got busier was because I was thinking this'll get people really enjoying deluxe upgrades, and then maybe they'll book for them because it's something that you don't sell that much of. So maybe people will experience them, they'll book them, blah, blah, blah. No, we were too busy to fit them in. The problem is that most of my clients for a very long time now are on recurring appointments. So it has always made it a lot easier for me, and it's worked. It was a client that started it. It was the Smilebox client that started it. She booked every second Friday at 6 a year out in advance.
Holy crap.
And I was like, actually, this is kind of nice because in a job that's not 9 to 5, having some predictability and routine is real good.
True.
So I started offering to my clients that they could do the same thing. And ultimately how it's worked is that now I'd say 90% of my clients are on the exact same fortnightly cycle as constantly. But that meant that if you're booked every second Thursday at 6, someone else is booked every second Thursday at 7, where do you fit your deluxe upgrade? So it's just something to consider when you get busier, because right now it's a good idea. But people ended up getting pissed off with us about them. We got rid of them because I'd be like, oh, do you have your stamp card? And they'd be like, which one do you want? Because they had like 3 saved up that they hadn't been able to use yet because we couldn't fit them in.
Oh dear.
So yeah, there's pros and cons to every
But
idea.
they still came back, so kind of been like that.
Yeah, they still came back, but they're just like, the loyalty card was supposed to be a nice idea, and they just get shitty about it.
Yeah.
Like, not angry, but just like, well, what do you want?
Point?
Like,
yeah,
why would I get another stamp? I haven't used these yet anyway.
Yeah, true.
But yeah,
Okay,
so
I'll keep that in mind.
yeah, it's fine while you're quiet, and it's really only because we had everybody in recurring spaces. Like, if everyone was fighting for appointments all the time, then you could have just put them in a different spot.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. I like the way that mine works, having recurring appointments.
Well, I've started saying to my clients, "Oh, same time, 2 weeks work for you?"
Yeah.
So I'm like, yes, keep that up going. That'd be great.
I much prefer it.
Yeah.
Like, and at the moment, this is tangential, but it's fine. At the moment, because I do clients every second week, it makes it so much easier because I can book a week of leave without affecting anyone, because I can predict when they're going to be.
Yeah.
And like even with people just doing the same, every second, whatever, like I'm going to a concert tomorrow, so I just almost literally picked up Tuesday and moved it to Monday, and everyone just blah, 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 moved to Monday, with the exception of one person who couldn't, so they're on a different day. But like, it's just so much easier.
Yeah.
Yeah, nothing to do with loyalty, but...
Yeah, because I guess that's, at some point, you've got to make it work for you, because it's the whole reason we got into this, right?
Yeah.
To be your own boss. Most of us, anyway, we all want to have our own salon, so you've got to make it work for you and the client.
Yeah, which that's totally my whole thing this year. We've touched on it a little bit in previous weeks, but my whole thing is making it work for me, because I'm, like I said at the start, I'm 11 years in, and most of the time I'm like, when someone wants to book, you take the booking, because what if they don't book again?
Yeah.
And I go through phases where I go, oh, well, too bad, no, I need a break. But actually, I always fall back into being a yes person.
Yeah.
I'm too much of a yes person. I mean, most of the time I'm too much of a yes person.
Yeah.
So I definitely need to be pulling back and being like, no, this is what I've got available.
Yeah.
And it can be scary. Like, I've lost a couple of like quite cool appointments just by being like, the only spot I've got is this, but ultimately I'm happier.
Yeah. And I think that's a massive thing, especially recently. I guess after the last podcast, I don't know why that one specifically, I wasn't able to make it because I was at work, not my salon work, my day job, and I was just thinking, why am I doing this? I got into nails and studied and opened my own salon to be my own boss. Why am I still doing my day job? So I quit.
I did a similar thing today.
I quit today.
I did kind of a similar thing. When I went full time, I still did 2 10-hour days, so basically still a 20-hour part-time job. And after a few months, like, I was making enough money to survive, and I said, no, I hate this job. I think I want to quit.
Yeah.
All my friends and my mum and stuff were like, no, you can't do it. You got to wait like 6 months. You got to wait till you have a nest egg. You got to, like, what if? And then like a week later, I was like, nah, I hate it. You can't
live your life like that, eh?
Yeah, and I was fine.
Yeah.
Not me, but another Penny. Penny H says, when you have clients book out months at a time, would they get a discount? I have seen that. Normally X dollars, but book X appointments and save whatever. So what Penny's saying is, like, the appointment is $50, but if you book 10, you pay $450. Yeah. So yes and no.
Well, that's kind of the same as a card, right? Because you're
it's
still
exactly
throwing
the
away
same as a card.
$50.
Yeah, personally, I wouldn't, but there's an exception to that. So I have 2 people that are on deals like that, where it's 3 months of appointments for $2.99, which basically works out to just a small discount. But the only people I have on it is how I have my recurring spots, and basically it's all full. Someone stopped getting their nails done to have a baby, and another person stopped because she moved out of town and went to Mariah.
Nice.
And so those 2 spots were really inconvenient for me to not have clients.
Oh, yeah.
So it was like, I think Riley took one of them, who was the financial advisor guest we had a few weeks
nice.
ago. And so she's, I want to say like Thursdays at 5:30 or something like that, right? And so to entice people into those spots, like I knew I only had every second Thursday at 5:30 and every second Wednesday at 7:30 or something like that.
Yeah.
So I made those 2 spots that offer.
Yeah.
So because they're only half-hour spots, and I just said, if you book 3 months of this spot, it'll be $2.99. But I just did it for those specific ones, and it's not something that I offer all the time.
Yeah.
It was just to get someone into that recurring spot.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know. Like Rochelle said, if you book out so many months at a time and they get a discount, it's just a loyalty card without stamps.
Yeah.
Really.
And I reckon it'd be way better. Like, I'm really thinking about this for my own salon now. It's good. I love these podcasts.
Yeah, this is how the podcast works for you every time.
I
You
know,
get to
like,
the end, you're like, wait.
Yeah. So, like, Easter's coming up. I'm totally going to get, like, little caramello eggs. They cost, like, bugger all, right?
So-
all those little mini ones from, like, the warehouse, because I love those ones.
I got cream eggs because, like, the first year that I was full-time, because they were on one day. And I got, like, trays of them, and they worked out way cheaper than,
that's such a good idea.
And then I just ended up eating half of them. So it wasn't that great of
Yeah,
an idea.
I feel like this is not going to be a good idea. It's like at Christmas I had cookies, and I ended up eating most of the cookies.
Yeah, like, actually, we used to
and
do
I
the
had to
same
buy
thing.
more, because I
So-
was like, shit, I ate them all.
My best friend Melina will like fondly tell you of the year where all we ate was cream eggs. But then we also used to buy them, you know, the Christmas cookies that you're talking about. So you could buy them from the Cookie Time factory directly in bags,
Yeah.
the same volume bag that goes into the bucket for $20, but for $6.
Yeah.
So we used to buy those bags, and they went on the side of all our hot drinks for clients. And then so whenever Melina
Those are
was
so
up
Moorish,
staying with me, she'd just sit in the pedicure chair with a bag of cookies. Sounds unprofessional, but it was. But like,
I can't buy those anymore. I had to ban myself.
yeah, because
last
you
year,
just eat them all.
I was sitting there and I ate 2 buckets. And my
I
husband came home and he was like, where are the cookies? And I'm like,
This is why
Don't
I'm
know.
on a diet.
this is why I can't fit my uniform.
So you quit your job?
So I quit my job so I don't have to wear it.
Don't you have to do like fitness tests or some shit?
Oh, okay, yeah. So for those that are listening / watching and don't know, I'm actually in the Air Force as well. And today I had enough and I quit because I want to work at Monaco. But yeah, you have to do a fitness test and wear a uniform. And I was actually wearing my husband's uniform because I
That's what
put on
fit.
too much weight, and I'd become so unfit. But because of the job that I do, I actually suffer from shin splints. So I can't even pass my fitness test at the moment. And that's one of the reasons that pushed me to quit, because I was like, I hate that test. It's like 20 push-ups and you have to run 5Ks with a 20-kilo vest on.
No deal.
Like, I'm over it. I don't want to do it anymore.
I'm out.
I've been in 10 years, so I'm done. Like, you can have it. I'm done. Somebody else can take that bag. Yeah, so I'm not even, I guess, being 100% in the job. That was a massive tangent. Sorry.
Teresa's just like, you quit your job.
Yeah, well, because I think we were talking about it when she came over for a play date. Yeah, yes, I did. Because my husband was like, oh, you're really unhappy, so maybe you should quit. And I was like, okay. And it's great. It's such a good feeling. Pushing that button was like, yes. Now it just has to be accepted. So I bet like next week I'll be like, oh, guys.
By the way,
I
still
haven't
have
quit
a
my job. Yeah.
Tony said, don't worry, Rochelle. I know what it's like to have shin splints.
It's so hard explaining to people who don't get it. My husband doesn't get it. He's like, but just power through. And I'm like,
I've had them
you
before
don't
too,
understand.
and it's
Like,
awful.
I've been in tears and had strangers pick me up and take me home because I've tried to go for a walk and
Yeah.
it's horrendous. Anyway, enough of that
I
tangent.
haven't dealt with them in like maybe a year and a half.
It's because
but
I
when
put on weight. That is solely why.
Well, maybe it was because I was fat.
Yeah, no, not you. I was meaning me. Like, I know that if I go over a certain weight, boom, they're there.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Well, no, but I just wonder if now that I've lost some weight, if I wouldn't get them again. Maybe.
Yeah.
I'd have to try exercising to work that out.
Thanks, Teresa.
While I think of it with tangents, Colour Gloss is half price at the moment.
Ooh.
But you just have to, when you go to monacopro.co.nz, you have to choose bank transfer so that I can invoice you at half price.
That's exciting.
Yeah, that's
Stock it.
fun. Yeah.
Stock it.
and it's only for what we've got. I've had a few people ask if they can back order. Nope.
Yeah, fair.
No deal. Alrighty. So I think we've ranted a lot.
We have.
About,
That's what happens when it's just me and you.
Yeah. I say we, but it's like mostly me.
I know, I'm going to watch this back and be like,
yeah.
Penny did all the talking.
Yeah.
And all I did was celebrate that I quit my job.
Oh, mate.
We're not that crazy normally. It's really hot. And that's what I'm blaming it on.
The last time that we did a Just Us podcast, we were worse.
This is
true. And it wasn't that hot.
And you couldn't even see my face in that one.
Nah. Lucky.
Rude. Just so rude.
What have you got going on in your salon at the moment,
For
Rochelle?
only 10 though. Oh, in my salon? Oh, okay. Funny story. So if you guys follow Wished for Nails, which is Mariah, who's another educator here at Monaco.
And podcaster.
She put this cool boomerang up of these shelves and I was like, oh, I want them. They look awesome.
I don't look at nail stuff enough.
Turns out they're from Bunnings and they're like $25 and you DIY them. Now,
Are they on her Instagram?
Yeah, I think they might be on her story. So you might have missed it.
Too hard.
But they're like, they're these floating shelves so you can't see the brackets.
Oh, no,
and stuff.
they were in the background of podcast last week.
Yeah. And I was like, oh, I need those because I'm like that. I just buy things without really thinking it
Same,
through.
it's an issue.
It is. But these are actually really handy. Put in one, fine. That was great. Went to put in the second one and completely ballsed it up and ended up having a hissy fit at 9:30 at night being like,
that is
okay,
bedtime.
This is bedtime for one. But I don't know why. I just thought it was a really good time
They
to put
say
up.
nothing good happens after 2 a.m., but it's actually like 9
p.m.
Yeah. Nothing good happens after 9.
Then I had a cry to my husband and I was like, you can just buy the brackets, right? And he's like, sure. I'm like, okay, but you have to put it up because... And he's like, well, you did the first one fine. I'm like, it's because you were supervising. Because at first he was like, I'll do it. I'm like, no, I'm an independent woman. I can do this myself. No, I can't. Turns out I cannot do that by myself. So yeah, that's what's happening.
So that's your big news is that you put up one floating shelf and then had a hissy fit.
That's exactly my big news. Oh, and my other news is we live in Air Force housing and there's this thing in our contract that says that they can do surprise inspections. Well, this is our first surprise inspection in 6 years. And you're also not allowed to run a business out of your Monaco.
Oh, no.
So now I have to back up my salon so that they can come and inspect the house.
Oh.
But that's all right. I'll just put everything in boxes.
Yeah.
And it'll be fine. I'll be like, oh, this is just our storage room.
As long as they're not listening to this.
Oh, surely not. Oh, God.
Gina said she'd love to see a picture of your shelves because she was getting some this morning.
Oh,
If you don't want to wait, then last week's podcast, Mariah has them in the background.
They're real cool.
But I'm sure if you follow Aphrodite.iris, Rochelle can put some on her story later on.
There's a story on there of me throwing my toys. So feel free to go look at that one. Oh, I was so proud of the first one too, and then I'm like, damn it.
I should know better. I should just change my mind and not hire you. Like, this is like a relationship that goes wrong, and you're like, there were signs. There were alarm bells. I should have known.
She is a stalker. No. What's that Netflix season at the moment? It's like
You.
called You.
Yeah.
Everyone's raving
I haven't
about
watched it yet,
No,
but
me
it's on my
neither.
watch list.
Yeah, same.
I'm excited because we're getting a new website. That's my most exciting thing.
Of course.
Yeah, but it's only like 8 weeks away. But
Yeah, that's going to be super exciting.
yeah, Tony said Ange had the same issue when she lived in Air Force housing with running her business. I think she ended up getting a cabin and then not getting a cabin and then eventually just buying a house that was off site.
I think that some of the issues she had was because she wasn't in uniform as well. I know that sounds quite like, what's the word? Discriminatory.
So because she wasn't Air Force, her husband was Air Force. That was a bigger issue.
Yeah, I think than like someone in uniform also doing wrong, breaking the rules. You know, it's probably a bit more of a contention point for Ange.
Yeah. Well, I would like to hear in the comments what your guys' news is.
Yeah,
what fun stuff is happening? Because I think I find it inspiring.
Yeah, hard out.
Yeah, even just silly stuff like floating shelves. I'll be like, I could do that. I could do this here or whatever. Yeah.
Or like new glitter. Teresa, surely you've got new glitter.
You guys all need to stop buying glitter.
No, but it's so much fun.
But it's not profitable.
I know.
You guys and then you're going to be like, oh, I just didn't make any money. I'm going to quit doing nails because there aren't enough clients and it costs so much money. Oh, how much glitter do you have? Just 75 jars? No.
That's my mum. My mum has everything. She's like one of those people that, sorry, Mum, I'm going to name drop you. Well, not really, but a new thing comes out and she will buy it.
No.
Like, every time. She's like, but I need it. I'm like, but you don't, because you have a whole drawer full of nail art crap, basically.
I know, because I was that person.
Yeah.
And now I know how to make profit instead.
Yeah.
Like, you can only have one or the other.
Yeah, true.
Teresa just had her first paying customer yesterday.
Exciting.
That's amazing. That's also terrifying, though.
Oh, yeah.
Well, it depends, though, if it was
a
a stranger or, I was going to say, a real human. Like,
like a friend or a complete stranger.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember my first complete stranger paying
They're
customer.
Terrifying.
That was the one that unloaded on me her like personal issues.
What was her story?
Oh, she's actually a really good regular client now, and she'll find this funny that I'm telling her. But she found out that her husband was cheating on her with her sister.
Oh.
So she came in and got these like talon extensions. And she's like, I want you to
claw
do
his
them.
eyes out?
Yeah, basically. And I was like, I can't condone that. So I'm going to round them off for you because I really don't want you like this coming back to me. And like red sparkly claws. Oh.
They sound amazing, though.
They were amazing. But I was just sitting there. I had no idea what to say. I was so awkward. And I was like, can I get you a cup of tea? And she's like, I'd rather have a gin. And I was like, well, I do have gin.
I had a client who, she's still one of my regulars and one of my favorites. But her dad committed suicide, and she came into every appointment for the next few appointment, like for a really long time, carrying Smirnoff. But it would be like a 10:30 a.m. appointment, 2 p.m. appointment, 9 a.m. appointment. Didn't matter what appointment it was. She like would literally come in carrying an already open Smirnoff, and I was just like, I can't judge you because like you're going through this awful thing, but still like, holy moly, that's,
are you okay?
Yeah, like how do I deal with
this?
Because like I don't know that this is a good thing.
Because you'd be like, how are you? Oh, never mind.
Yeah. And then when the first day, and I mean, she's real cool and we get on really well. So then the first day that she turned up without Smirnoff, I was like, there's no Smirnoff today. And she was like, yeah, it was time.
Holy crap. Yeah, I would not know how to deal with that.
Yeah.
But yeah, this client, my first client's now like one of my main regulars, and she's really lovely. She's doing great. She's got herself like a toy boy and got like travels and stuff. And I'm like, I wish I was.
Yes. No, you don't. You love your husband.
I do. I love my husband. He puts up with so much of my crap.
You do have a lot of crap. I had a client come to me straight from being kicked out of her house by the police once because her house was a murder investigation scene that she knew nothing about.
Oh, okay, that's good.
Yeah.
Your client's definitely top my crazy one.
I've had them for longer, though.
Yeah, that's true. Maybe in 10 years' time, I'll be like, oh, I can beat your
one of my clients just walked in and snuck behind us. So, like, I was just telling all her stories. She was like, what are you doing?
Now?
I'm going to leave.
Oh, man.
Oh, we've got
really
permission.
Nice
Laura said we can. She's got no good stories.
Oh.
She's just a normal human. What do you want to do with those?
Yeah, I know, right?
Alrighty, guys. Well, we shall take Laura's arrival as a sign to wrap this up for the week. So let's see what we
like worst podcast ever.
Who said that?
No, I'm saying they're going to be like, never watch it when it's just Shell and Penny.
Oh, that's fair though. I mean, enter at your own risk.
Yeah, true.
So next week we're going to chat about a few little bits and pieces. So the main sort of overriding theme of next week's podcast is the idea that revenue is a vanity metric. So like kind of people think that because there's money in their account, they're fine. That's what I did. But revenue being like the dollars that come in is actually just like, it makes you feel good. Like, but it doesn't mean anything if you're spending more than that or if you have 75 pots of glitter. So we're going to talk about revenue being a vanity metric and how So I saw this little quote thing that said, "Revenue is vanity and profit is sanity." That's our sort of theme for next week. We're going to go through some of the numbers that you should know off by heart, like kind of just not too accounty, but
so this is where we can push how to set your prices. My favorite Salon success one.
Yeah, there was a moment before where I could have plugged it and didn't, just because I was like, I wonder if we can go a whole podcast episode without.
To be fair, that was on topic because it's about next week's one.
True. So we'll be back. Are you back next week?
Yes.
Hopefully we'll have Janelle and Mariah, and I think we might have Jessie joining us as well, because I'm
not here for the one after, but yeah.
Rude. So Jessie's going to be here on Mondays anyway, so I think I'm going to convince her to join the podcast team.
Sounds good.
Cool. So we will be back next week, Monday, 5:00 live on Facebook, and then we upload it on YouTube and Spotify and all those playlist podcast places later on. So
also another cheeky plug, going into my giveaway, there's some freaking cool stuff in there.
So Rochelle is Aphrodite.iris on Instagram and Facebook. And I am Penny Lawler, nail artist, on Instagram and Facebook. Feel free to plug yourselves in the comments below this podcast before you head off. Enjoy your week, and we will see you guys next time.
Bye, guys.
Bye.